doing out there? This is JOATD. Today I'm going to show you how to repair your garbage disposal. Our garbage disposal was leaking, and I finally decided that, hey, let's do a DIY on it. I know you're like, hey Dre, why are you going to fix it when you can just buy another one for like 90 bucks or 70 bucks or whatever? Hey, it's DIY, man. This is what we do. I want to show people an inexpensive way to fix something, and when they got the money to purchase a new one, they can just go do it. All right, so let's get started. Basically, this is the garbage disposal. I've already taken it out. Let's see. That's the brand name of the garbage disposal. Okay, guys, it was leaking from the bottom. It wasn't leaking, from here or from here. This is where the dishwasher drain goes in, and this is where the pipe actually goes for the garbage disposal to put the food back into the sewer system or whatever, right here. So it was leaking from the bottom. It's leaking from right here. You can kind of see the crud still right there where it was leaking from internally, and we're gonna see why it's leaking and what we can do to fix it. Now, on this particular garbage disposal, it has 4 screws that's holding it together. You got one here, one here, one here, and then one here. Just to give you a close-up of it, that's what it looks like right there. Okay, my size screw head is a 3/16. Yours may be something different. First thing I'm going to do is take my Milwaukee right angle impact. I love this thing. All right, I'm going to take these screws loose. All right. These screws are pretty long too. That's 1. 2. 3. 4. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to turn this bad boy to the side here, and between this top part and the motor, you're going to stick a flathead screwdriver right here. If you can see that, stick a flathead screwdriver right there and turn it. Turn it and turn it around. Stick it in there, turn it around. Stick it in there, turn it. There you go. I think it's, just keep doing that all the way around. It's like a little bit of tar that kind of holds this thing together. Alright. Let's see if I got it. Alright, so we got this bad boy apart. Smooth these screws out the way. Alright. Now this is the disc that turns, that chops the food up. I want this off, so we're going to get the impact and take this bolt out. The size of this bolt is a 9/16. And we got our 9/16 on here. Now, to get this out, I'm gonna have to stick something in here to stop it from spinning. So that's why I got this, it's just a pick. Put it in the inside, put that bad boy in reverse. There you go. Alright, so got this off. This thing's rusted. It's not super thin though, so it's still worth fixing. If you can see that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna remove this rust from off of here. Make sure you put you some eye protection on. I'm gonna use this drill right here, and I got this from like the dollar store. I've had it for a while. They're very cheap. I just had it laying around, so that's how I'm gonna get this rust off. So let's see if this works. Please make sure you have your eye protection. Let's see. That's pretty clean. If you can see what the gaps are right here. See that? It's a hole right here, right there, right there. It's like all around the edge of it. It's not on the top part of it, it's on the edge. So I'm gonna sand this down just a little bit more. Alright guys, so got all the rust off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put JB Weld around all this edge right here. Fill it in so that it doesn't crack anymore. So went to my local audio Advanced Auto, got me some of this JB Weld here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna mix this epoxy up. We're gonna fill in these holes. Let's see. That one. All right. Basically all I'm doing is I'm putting out an even amount of JB Weld so I can mix it together. Got me an old popsicle stick. We're gonna go ahead and mix this stuff together real good. Make sure you get it to turn real dark gray. That's how you know it's mixed up good, if you got it dark gray. See, that's good. That's good mixed right there. All right. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start by filling these edges where these holes are. See if I can give you a good close-up of it again. It's like it's this hole over here, here, and right here. And there's one here too. Let's see how this is gonna work. All right, I'm gonna fill it all in. All the holes, any place area where you see a hole at, even if it's really, really small, you're gonna fill it in. I like to try to force it in the hole itself. That'll let me know that it's actually in the hole and not just sitting on top of it. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go around this whole thing, even though I know that there's nothing around it. But I'm doing this because I want to make sure that in the future, if it leaks, you know, oh well, in the future that it won't leak until it's just rusted all the way out. Once it's rusted out, I'll just buy another one then. But right now, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna fix this bad boy, and we're gonna continue to use this one. You know, it's not my fault they decided to put cheap metal parts in here and it rusted out. So I'm gonna fix it, and let's see if I can. Now make sure that when you're putting this on, that you kind of thin it out on the edges, because that box, the top piece has to go back on there. So you want to give it a little wipe across the edge like this. And like I said, what that's doing is that's gonna make it so that that top goes back on good. You know, you want that top piece to go on. That's it. I'm going all the way around it. I'm only going around it because I want to make sure that this is not going to leak, you know, right when I put everything back together. But this is just the first stage. We got something else we're going to do too, just to make sure this bad boy doesn't leak. All I'm doing is wiping off that excess. There we go. Alright, now let's look at this up close. See how I got those edges? Got everything real smooth, like. See that? And all I'm doing is making sure that every little spot where I felt like there was a hole is covered. Cover everything. You know, you can only work with this stuff for so long before it starts to get hard. It's already starting to get hard. Yeah, that's good. That's good enough. I'm just looking at the edges just to make sure. I might hit this little area right here one more time. But the stuff that I got here is already hard, so I'm gonna have to put a little more out. That's okay. Now, this fix cost me about think about 12 bucks for the JB Weld, and a little time and effort. You know, I know everybody says, hey man, your time is everything. Yeah, it is, but it's costing me, you know, 12 bucks and like an hour and a half of work, you know. Who makes $90 an hour? You know what I mean? That's how much one of these costs brand new. I'm doing all of this in an hour and a half. And I'm making sure that I'm covering all bases so that I don't have to worry about it leaking later. Now granted, 3-4 years from now, I'm pretty sure it'll start leaking again. But by then, I'll have that 90 bucks. Plus some. You get what I'm saying? So, like I said, this is a DIY for people who ain't got the time or the money right now to go purchase them a brand new garbage disposal. Alright, so guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna let this sit out here for an hour, okay, in this sun. Once this gets hard, we're gonna go back over this with a little RUST-OLEUM spray. Now I know you're like, what color is this? This is like some crap color. It's old, an old can I had sitting in the garage. You know, nobody's gonna see this. Nobody cares what color I paint, you know, I put on this. So I'm gonna spray this with this to protect the rest of this from rusting and to protect the JB Weld. This right here has been out here for an hour. It's pretty hard. And we're going to, I cut a piece of cardboard to so when I spray paint, it doesn't get all over it. So I'm gonna put the put the cardboard here, and I'm gonna take a piece of some tape, cover up these threads right here, because I don't want any paint getting on the threads. Right. So we're gonna cover that up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this spray paint. I'm going to spray all of this. Before you do it, make sure you don't have any holes like up in here and stuff too. I see dips in here, but it's not like all the way through. Okay. Alright. Just spray out. Now, try not to get this on my phone. Like I said, all I'm doing is trying to cover up the rust spots. And we're just gonna let that stuff comes out really thick. We're gonna let that dry. I am going to go ahead and put the leak seal on there. That's to stop, you know, the water from sitting in the corners and rusting this out again. I also wanted to show you guys that the top piece, that was the cutter, I went on and sprayed that too. I sanded it down And then I just sprayed it too. That's gonna stop water from damaging it any further. It just makes sense, made sense to do it, you know. Right now, just kind of moving these out the way so that it'll dry in those areas where I sprayed it at. Okay, let's try this leak seal and see what this is gonna do. All right, let's see. That looks really nice and evenly coated. I don't want to put too much because then the top part might not slide on. If not, I'll take a blade and cut the edge off, you know, so that the top piece will actually go on. Alright, we're gonna let that dry for another hour, and then after that I'm gonna assemble this bad boy back together. I got the leak seal and the epoxy and the RUST-OLEUM paint all on it. Everything's good, everything's dry. Let's see, pull this off. Alright, see how good that looks. All the holes on the end are filled in, and any potential holes from the rust here are all painted and filled in. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to sand just a little bit of this edge off, because I want to make sure that that top portion goes back on good. Now you can just sand it, you know. I'm a power tool person. I like power tools, so I'm gonna use my Milwaukee right angle grinder. I love this. And I'm gonna take this die and I'm gonna just go around it very slowly and just knock some of that extra paint and stuff off. There we go. Alright, so I got everything sanded down smooth. Make sure you try to get any little extra pieces in there, because you want this thing to seed really good. It's like if you look closely, there's a grommet in there, so you don't want nothing to be sitting over top of the grommet causing it to leak. You know, right there at that grommet area. Okay. Alright, so we got that piece good. And pull this tape off. That was covering the threads. I wanted to make sure that the threads were still, they didn't get paint in them or whatever. Alright, now we're going to get the blades. Put that blade right there. So you got that blade in there. And if you look at the blade, it has like a certain shape to it. It goes on here a specific way. You just kind of just let it sit on there. Alright. Now that I got that, we're gonna get an impact. I'm gonna put the screw back on. Okay. Now this is gonna be a little tricky because what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to stick something in here to hold this from turning while I'm tightening the screw without scratching all that work that I just did. Alright, so we're gonna use this again. But when I put it in this time, I'm gonna kind of slide it out as, I'm kind of just gonna hold it as much as I can. Okay. There you go. Got that bad boy on there. I scratched it a little bit up on the bottom, but not a whole bunch. So that's on there. These right here kind of sticky a little bit just because I sprayed it, but after it, you know, using it, these will spin around so much that it'll clean out the painted areas in here, so I'm not really worried about that. I'm not worried about that at all. Alright, so now got this on. You know, this right here is 200, I think it's 250 foot-pounds, so it put this on at about 250 foot-pounds. I'm gonna hit it. I might hit it one more time just to make sure that it's really good or whatever. Let's see. Yeah, that's in there. I'm not worried about that coming off. Okay. All right, now what we're gonna do is, let's see. Like this stuff in here is like tar, so it's still sticky, so I'm not worried about that leaking or anything. And I just want to make sure we put this on the right way, because once I put this on, I probably ain't gonna be able to turn it. Let's see. Now remember, when you put this back on, these holes here, they're gonna line up with these holes. Square holes on the motor. Just put them on there and kind of just get them as straight as you can. Like that. And then, let's see. Okay, we got that set up good. Now we're going to put all of these screws back in. There's 4 of them, remember? Put this one in and one in here. Okay? And we're going to run them down. Probably help if I had a battery in here. Now, when you put these screws on, to get this to sit flat, I would go in the X motion, top, bottom, okay? Don't go in a circle. We got that thing on there good. We got everything put back together. Just pop this back up. And that's it, guys. Got everything back together. Make sure that it's a rubber grommet that goes here. See that? Make sure that that doesn't fall out. And if it does, put it back. And there's actually a rubber grommet up here too. You can see it right here. And that's it, guys. Got everything on there. Everything's tight. And I'm gonna go put this bad boy back in up under the sink. I would show you guys how to do that. It's not really hard. It's a lot of YouTubes on how to take these out and put them back in. I just don't want to show anybody the wiring part of it, where you gotta put white to white, black to black, ground to the actual bottom of this, because I don't want to be responsible for anybody getting electrocuted. So I just wanted to show you how you could fix this and get this together. Okay guys, this is the follow-up video. We're going to see if the water's still dripping from the garbage disposal. Let's turn the water on. We're going to let the water run for about 20 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, let's go down to the bottom. Let's look in the bucket. Look at that, no water. That's a little spot, that's a dry spot. But when I stick my hand under here, no water. It actually worked. Alright guys, this is JOATD, and I'm out.